Good morning. You caught me drinking my tea, peppermint tea. Yum. Good morning. Hi, all my crafty friends. Thank you for joining me today for my coffee and a card live. I am coming to you from a still very cold and still snowy Middle Tennessee. But we're trying to enjoy it. It's actually 30 degrees out, which is warm compared to what we've had. We were down to sub-zero temperatures, and right now it's still saying that the wind chill is like 20, which is pretty cold, I will admit. But we're nice and warm inside, and that is where I plan to stay for a while. I don't think we are supposed to get warmer temperatures till like Monday. So pretty much I'll probably be staying inside till like Monday. So those of you who've been praying for me with my UTI issues and other stuff, the peppermint tea is really helping. So I've done a lot of research. I'm doing a lot of different things to try to help. Excuse me 1 second. My mouse just went a little crazy over here. Don't know what's going on. To help. I've researched and I'm doing, I've cut back to 1 cup of coffee a day. So for those of you that know me, that is a huge sacrifice, but the peppermint tea is helping. So yes, for some reason, it doesn't look like I am popping up anywhere. Don't know why it's taking so long. Usually I have people on by this point. So let me just check a minute. I'm going to reload. Okay, no, it looks like I am. So guys, yay. As you pop on, please say hi and let me know that you are here. It is Friday, January 19th, 2024. My name is Maureen Rolfes, also known as the Crazy Stepping Lady. I am coming to you from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, in Middle Tennessee. And I have been an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 26 years, and I love what I do. So I see a couple people on watching now. Please let me know if you're here. Say hi in the comments. That would be fantastic. Let's see what I want to tell you. I am here to help you find the joy of card making. I have had so much fun and so much stress release doing card making over the year, and I want to share that with you, that joy and some tips to make it fun for you and hopefully encourage you. Hi Sharon, hi Lenny, to make cards too and send them off to someone else to bring them joy. That is my ministry. I pray for people as I make cards and then I send them out to them, and I hope it brings, looks like I lost you for a second. Hopefully all is well and I am back on. I'm not sure what just happened there, and hopefully it's not an indicator of what's to come. So let's see. Please be sure to let me know in the comments that you are here. Say hello, comment on my card, let me know how your weather is. I just love to hear from you. And everyone that comments, each of those comments will be entered for a chance to win the card I'm making today. So you have all day today and until tomorrow night, midnight, to leave your comments, and the following morning I will draw for a winner. Congratulations to my last winner, Debbie Bragg. She won the Trusty Toolbox card that I made. Debbie, that is on its way to you in the mail. Thank you all so much for commenting and watching. Also, if you can share this video, thank you, Sharon, for sharing. I see that you did. If you can share this to a crafty friend or a crafty group or your homepage, somewhere where I might get exposure I wouldn't otherwise have, I truly appreciate that. I'm getting a lot of new followers, and I think a lot of that is from you guys sharing. So thank you so very much. Let's see. I think that is about it. Let me take you down to my table and show you a few things. Hang on while I turn you around here and take you down. And this is me, Maureen Rolfes, also known as the Crazy Stamping Lady. My blog is crazystampinglady.blogspot.com. My email is crazystampinglady@gmail.com. Facebook is facebook.com/crazystampinglady. You can find me on YouTube under my name, Maureen Rolfes, and you can shop with me at stampingwithmaureen.stampinup.net. This is my January hostess code. As always, if you are ordering from me this month, please use my monthly hostess code. It gets me the most benefits for your order, and it allows me to give the most back to everyone who's watching and my customers. So I really appreciate when you do that. If your order is over $150 pre-shipping and handling and tax, then do not use that code because you will earn some of your own free benefits as hostess benefits, and you don't want to miss out on those. And you will still get all your benefits from me if your order is over $150 pre-shipping and handling and tax. Cards. This is my reminder to show you cards. I have new cards to share today, so I'm just going to move this aside. This is my spring catalog paper share. I want to let you know it is now closed. I sold every single share. I had set a limit on them this year, and they all went, and I so appreciate all your support. They have all been sent out in the mail, and you should be receiving them within like probably 4 to 5 days. If you ordered and you received them, please let me know. Otherwise, I will follow up because I like to know that they got to you. Next catalog, I'll probably have something else to share. Actually, next catalog will be our annual catalog. And in that catalog, I usually just do an in-color club. So we'll see. Upcoming classes. I still have a class coming up on Friday, January 26th here in Murfreesboro. There's still openings, and I would love to have you join me. If you're local and you'd like to come or just find out more about my classes, drop me an email at crazystampinglady@gmail.com, and I will get you all the info. My January bundle is Crafting with You. It is a delightful bundle. You saw me play with it a couple videos ago. I will try to get one more in before the end of January. A totally different card because it is just super fun to play with. And for crafters, it's perfect to send cards to your crafting friends. If you order the above bundle from me in the month of January, all of my profits from the sale of it will go to the Doors of Hope Ministry here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. You can find more about what they do at opendoorsofhope.org if you're interested. Plus, you will receive a special full bundle tutorial of additional card ideas from me probably the Sunday after you order. So I watch that on my orders. And then my free monthly virtual card class. Any orders placed in the month of January over $50 will earn a kit. So a $50 order or above will get you 3 free card kits. $75 order or above will get you 3 free card kits plus a bonus project, and $100 a bonus project and a half a package of a current embellishment. I only send out 1 kit per person, so whatever your highest order is in the month, that's the one I use to determine your kit. This January class will be held online on Monday, February 12th, 2024 at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time, right here, same place, same time where you are, not same time, same place where you are right now. And anyone is welcome to join me, but those that purchase will have the kits so that they can make them after they watch my video. Alrighty. Fun today. We're going to play with some things I haven't shown you. I think a couple things, at least one thing. Who knows? We're playing with something today, right? So out of the Celebration catalog, we're not making this card today, but I need you to stick around and be with me till the very end because I'm going to share a couple more cards made with some of the techniques that we're doing today. So I hope you stay and watch. And for one of the cards, we are using the Watercolor Melon set, which is a free Celebration offering for a $50 purchase. I have not used this before, so I'm just kind of glad to share with you what I made with it. It was a lot of fun, and I hope you like it. So stick around because that'll be at the end. And then out of the mini catalog, we are going to be using some items out of the Perennial Lavendar Sweet collection. We're going to be using the Painted Lavender stamp set and dies, the Purple Fine Shimmer Gems, and the Perennial Postage stamp set that has cute little loving sentiments in it. So that's what we'll be playing with today, as well as, oh, I didn't even show it to you, as well as out of this catalog. Oh, and I lost my page, but that's okay. We can find it because there's a nice little index in the back. We're going to be using the Rock and Roll Designer Series paper on page 55 of this catalog right here. It is a black and white Designer Series paper, and I know that sometimes something that's so specific as rock and roll just gets overlooked if you don't have like teens or someone to do in the music that would like those cards. So I understand that. But we're going to be playing with this paper, and I'm going to show you how to make it match your cards and how fun it is to play with. So hang with me, and hopefully you will enjoy my project. And everything else in here is like all of my general stuff out of the annual catalog. Don't forget about the annual catalog. Sometimes when the new minis and celebration and everything's going on, we kind of just set this aside and don't think about it. But there is so much fun stuff in here, and every purchase out of here counts toward you getting that celebration reward, that free stamp set or free products. So don't forget about the annual catalog. All right, let's get going here. So let me show you the card we're making on screen, and then again, stick with me and I'll show you a couple others at the end. So here's my little envelope, sending love and best wishes. And here's the card we're making today. And we're using that black and white paper, and I'm going to show you how I made this all coordinate so beautifully. But that is one thing I super love about Stampin' Up! Is their blends and their ink pads all coordinate. And by using your blends in a few fun ways, you'll be able to make your card very coordinated. So stick with me. And then here's the inside finished off. I just did a little more finishing on this one than I usually do with an extra layer, but I love the way it popped on there. So this is the card we're making. I'm going to set this up here toward the side, and hopefully you can see it while we're making this. Here's all of my pieces for this card, and there's some little ones in here. So I'm going to do my best not to lose any of them, LOL. Just set this here for a second while I show you the products we're using in here. So we're using the Painted Lavender and the Perennial Postage stamp sets. These are part of a suite. And a suite is just where we have 2 or more stamp sets and dies that coordinate and go together well. And so they put it all in a suite to make it easy for you to order everything with one little code. The Painted Lavender bundle and the Perennial Postage bundle are both in there, and they're both at the same 10% discount that you would get if you just ordered the bundles individually. So if you use that number for the suite, one number, you can get everything in there easily. We have had dies back ordered, so right now, I think it is this set, this bundle and part of the suite are not available because dies are back ordered, but they're supposed to be coming back soon, and I am watching it every day. So if you are interested, let me know, and I will let you know when everything's back in stock. But the nice thing about these two is this is simply an image stamp set, and it's beautiful, and you can use any sentiments that you have with it. But they placed another stamp set in there that does have all these sentiments so that you can coordinate them if that's what you want to do. And that's what we're doing today. We're using items out of here and out of here, as well as dies to cut out the Painted Lavender. So I'm going to set these aside for now. I don't think I need them out. Okay, so let's get started here. For this card, we're going to be using blends, and I'm using my Fresh Freesia blend for this, and I'm going to use the Light Fresh Freesia, although you could use the dark or any other color that you're trying to coordinate. So this has a Fresh Freesia base, and I'm going to take out the inside pieces for just a second and this envelope, and we're going to layer a piece of black on here. So this piece of basic black is 4 inches by 5 1/4. I'm just going to use some seal on the back and the corners. I finally ran out of seal. Those of you who've been watching me that kept thinking I was going to run out, finally did yesterday and got to replace it. So I have a new seal in there. I'm not complaining because it goes a long way, guys. I'm so shocked. I only do the corners usually, so that of course makes it go longer for me. But that's really all you need. That's going to hold your card layer down on there perfectly. And then I have all these little pieces that I pre-die cut that I'm just going to set aside for a second here. Okay. And then I have this piece of paper. So you can see I've already started some coloring on here. That was just from the last base I did. And let me show you this paper before we go much further. So this is the Rock and Roll paper. It is in the Spring 2024 mini catalog. You can see I have my little pouch in here catching all my little scraps, which is just a wonderful thing for me since I learned that from Sandra. Love, love, love that tip. And then I have been writing the colors on the back of what's inside of that kit because this print is so tiny. But this one was super simple because the only color in here besides white is basic black. And let me show you the patterns in here. So I'm going to just lay them out one at a time so you can see. Some of them are pretty specific, like this one is the guitars. This one's got some little 8-track players and speakers and a turntable and boom boxes and cassette tracks, everything that we used to use for our music. So it's very retro. Here's a fun black and white pattern and another black and white pattern and another. So these front pieces have a lot of white on them, but I'm going to flip them over and show you the backs. And the backs have a lot of black on them. Also very cool. Crosshatch, kind of like paint, you know, that's peeling. Just some different designs. This one reminds me of paint splatters or even outer space. And this one's kind of chalkboardy to me. Great, great papers. And we're going to see how to use them in some fun new ways with our blends. So for this one, I just grabbed this piece of paper and I wanted to make a background for my lavender to sit on. And you could do this with any color blend you have, which is the beauty of it. Whatever you have, whatever card you're trying to make, these black and white papers can be adapted to go with that. So for this one, I just took my blends and ran it along the white part on this image. Now, you can see I'm doing this on top of a piece of scrap paper that's been well loved. That is because blends can soak through the back, and so you want something underneath them. Also, I want to show you that when you first color with this color, Fresh Freesia, the color will look very pink, but as it dries, it turns into that purple color that matches your card perfectly. So we're just going to go over the different white sections on here. I'm not being real perfectionist on this, and I'm not worried about the parts that are going onto the black. This is a light color blend, and so even though I'm on the black in some spots, it does not show after it dries. Now on one of my samples, I'm going to show you how that can be different with your dark color blends, just so that you're aware of it. So stick with me. We had some snow flurries this morning. They were very pretty to watch. I thought it was going to continue, but now as I look out there, it's getting a little lighter, so maybe we'll get some sunshine. How are the temperatures and snow by you guys? Is it letting up finally after that deep freeze we've been in? It was pretty crazy. Our home has a heat pump, and that's a little different than a regular furnace, and it's great for mild temperatures like Tennessee usually is. But during that cold spell, it ran 24/7. It just never stopped. It had to work so hard to keep our little house warm. So it's kind of nice that it's slightly warmer and it's not running quite so much. Okay, so you can see I've just gone back and forth on this. On the back, you can see all that color coming through and how this was what I had pre-colored. This is already turning more purple. These look pink, but they will absolutely turn more purple. And then I just took my blend and just kind of went over a few different spots. Not any reason, just randomly, because I didn't want my coloring to be so perfect on here. I didn't want anyone to think, oh, look, here's a little darker, here's a little lighter. By doing this, I allowed it to look more generic, like I wanted dark and light spots, which I did. So there you go. Okay, so that is our background layer for this card. We're going to come in here with our seal again, just in the corners. That's all you need when it's just a regular layer like this. There's no right or wrong to the pattern on here, so I don't have to worry about up and down. And this piece is 5 inches by 3 3/4. We're just going to lay that on there like that. So now I've created a background piece of paper from that black and white to go perfectly on the back of the card that I'm making. So if you don't have all the colors of designer series paper, which we don't always have something that matches perfectly, this is the way you can make it match your card. So now we're going to take a piece of basic black, and I'm cutting out a 2-inch circle. This 2-inch circle punch is from our online exclusives. So don't forget to check out online exclusives when you are shopping, because there's a lot of fun things there. And if you see it there, then you can order it. So that's the thing I love. It may say currently unavailable, which means it's coming back. But if it's gone, you know it's gone. And while I take a sip of my tea and soothe my throat. I don't know why it gets so dry when I talk, but it does. And then for this card, on this last card, I used a 2 1/4 inch circle punch, but that is a retired punch. I don't think it's active right now. I didn't look to see. We might have it somewhere online or whatever. But for this one, I'm going to use the 2 3/8 inch, and that's just going to give me a little bit more of the Fresh Freesia showing, which I don't mind at all. I think that'll be pretty on this card. So this is from our Circle Sayings bundle. It is a great size punch. Honestly, if we have circle punches, I buy them because they're so fun and easy to use. Great on your cards, and I love it. So this is going to show like this. You can see there's going to be more of the Fresh Freesia. And I'm just going to take my seal and add this black circle to the top of the Fresh Freesia, centering it, hopefully, just like that. And then we're going to build our little flower cluster. So I'm going to take this piece right here and some dimensionals. I'll do 4, I think, will work on the back of here. And we're going to pop this up on the card. But we're going to build that little bouquet right on top of it. So when you're placing something like this, think about your placement. Think about what's going to go on top and where it needs to be. And I'll show you what I mean as soon as I get these backings off of here. So we're using this lavender cluster. I just broke my finger down. This lavender cluster here, and then the stems. And you can see how they hang off probably 3/4 inch or so off the bottom. So I'm going to make sure I'm coming in here at least probably a 1/2 inch from each side here from the of the card and the bottom to give me some room for that angle down here. And then we're going to place our stem. So here is our pre-cut stem with those dies. And I'm just going to, so this is the top and these are the stems. I'm just going to place some seal right up here on the top of that stem, just like that. And then place this so it's hanging down. So now this is the perfect time to see how far it's going to be hanging down and make sure it's staying on top of your card base and not off the edge, just like that. And then we're going to take the lavender top, which I already stamped, and this was stamped with Highland Heather to give it just a little bit of a contrast on the Fresh Freesia. And for this one, I just want my seal on the bottom because that's the only part that is touching those circles. So just think about that as you're making your cards so that you don't end up getting glue where you don't want it or having to pull something back off. All right, so there is our little cluster of lavender. So those of you that know me pretty well know that in Arizona for several years we lived in a Victorian home. It was amazing. It had an old-fashioned flowers everywhere. It had lavender, it had mums, it had holly. She had done a great job with that home. And I loved my lavender. I loved it. It was one of the hardest parts about leaving that house was my lavender. So now I want to place the bow right over where these come together. So making this card just reminds me of that home. And I'm going to take about 8 inches of the gingham ribbon and cut it off right here. 8 inches is usually plenty for me to make a nice bow. So that's kind of the measurement that I go with. And then I'm going to grab my mat once more, and we're going to color this ribbon because I don't want it to be just black and white. I want it to be that lavender color. So I'm going to use my Fresh Freesia blend one more time here. And we're just going to come in here and go over this ribbon. So this ribbon is a favorite of mine for this reason, that I can color this gingham to match whatever card color I am using. And believe me, I do it all the time. I just love that idea. Honestly, you could probably get away with just this ribbon and nothing else and just color it when we needed it, but I know Stampin' Up! Won't go that route. All right, so that's how simple it is to color your ribbon, what I just did there. It goes through on both sides, which is wonderful. It takes just a second to dry, and this seems pretty dry already. So I'm going to tie my bow. Tuck that end in. And then again, like I always say, just pull your bow and manipulate it till you get it just how you want it. And that is pretty good right there. Pull my tails down and use my ribbon cutting scissors again. And we're just going to cut the tails off like that. So 8 inches works great. I don't lose a lot. It makes it easy for me to tie. And I think it would work for most of you if you're looking for a measurement for tying your bows. 8 inches is a good number to go with. I'm going to use a glue dot on this. Right on the back of here. And pull that up. I don't know why I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. I have 2 glue dots right next to each other and then a big gap with none. So the little machine must have sputtered as it was putting it on there. And we're going to use this just to cover where the bottom of the lavender comes in contact with the stems, just like that. And look how pretty that is and how much that matches. I just love it. Now I also die cut 2 of the little butterflies. These are also in the dies in the stamp set. And I'm going to use my blends one more time. I guess I could have colored these before I die cut them, but I didn't. So I'm going to just hold that with my fingernail and come in here and very easily just add some of the Fresh Freesia to the wings of this butterfly. And honestly, when I used to look out my crafting window at that Victorian home, right outside my window was a big lavender bush, and it would be covered with these tiny little black and white or black and slightly purple or pink butterflies all over it. I mean, hundreds of them at certain times of the year. So, so these are perfect. I think that's what they were doing here, would be on your lavender plants. So we're going to take this larger of the 2 butterflies, and I'm just going to fold the wings in a little bit up like that. Excuse me, my throat is scratchy. Grab a glue dot on the back of there. Grab a sip of my peppermint tea. Sorry. All right. And then we're going to pull this off and place it on the card. Now I want those wings to stay up, so I am taking that glue dot with my fingernails. You could use the end of your snips, just something to push it in. So it is just on that very bottom fold of this butterfly. And then I can place it here on my lavender. I'm going to take my bone folder and push right down in the middle while I'm holding those wings up. So then I have some depth on that little butterfly. And for this other one here, I am also going to come in here and get the other glue dot right on the back of it. And we're going to place this little guy up here toward the top like he just landed on that lavender piece. Okay, so there's our little butterflies. And then, because it is pretty monochromatic and I wanted a little sparkle, I'm going to take my Wink of Stella and we're going to go over the wings on these little butterflies. Wink of Stella is wonderful, guys, if you want just a little glimmer or shimmer on your card. No fuss, no mess. This is the way to go. It just comes out liquidy and then it dries and leaves sparkle And it's perfect for things like butterflies and flowers and raindrops. You can't really see it well on camera, which always makes me sad, because in person that sparkle does a lot. They open up their card and it is just shimmery and delightful. And so if you have any inclination toward a little glimmer on your cards and you don't want a mess, Wink of Stella is the way to go. Okay, so that has got some sparkle on it. I don't know if you can see it or not, if the sun will hit it right. Oh, it looks like I've locked up. I'm just spinning. I'm going to go with it. If I have to come back in and redo the end of this video in a second part, I will. I don't know why I'm spinning or if you're seeing it, but it hasn't gone off on my screen, but it is spinning. So I'm hoping for the best. So you can see these little blossoms here are just loose on top. And you know I like that look. I like that feel when things are loose. And then we're going to add a few of our purple Fine Shimmer gems. These are from that same suite of products. And you can lay your gems on top of your cards to get a feel for what color you might like on there. On this one, I used the lightest ones. On this one, I think I'm going to use I think I'm going to use the darker purple ones. I don't know why. It's just the mood I'm in today, so we're going to go with that. So we're going to pick up these gems and just add them to the front of my card. So we have a little more glimmer on there. One right down here like that. And then I'm going to finish the inside of my card. So guys, I hope I'm working. I can't see me, but I'm hoping that I am still up and running and doing stuff. We're going to grab the inside of our card. And for this, like I said, I just wanted to add, oops, not that one, a little bit more of depth to that layer. So I did my stamping on a piece of white and layered it onto a piece of black. This black inches by 5 1/4. So that makes it easy. I don't have to worry about messing up which black I'm putting where. We're going to leave that border of Fresh Freesia around it. And then I'm going to take my white layer, which is 5 inches by 3 3/4. And we're going to use one of the stamps from that Perennial Postage stamp set and some Memento black. So it says sending love and best wishes, because I'm really working on my ministry of praying for people. And then I'm also sending them encouragement cards. So this is one that I can send out to just about anyone and let them know I'm thinking of them. And then we're going to take our little butterfly stamp once more and add that right here to the inside. And I want to give that just a few seconds to dry, and then I'm going to color it with the Memento ink. If you're using Memento ink in your blends and you color too soon, it's going to bleed. So it's going to make that black just kind of smudge. So since it's such a little thing I'm coloring and I'm not really worried about messing up on it, I'm going to go ahead and place this layer right inside here on top of the black, like that. And then I'm going to come in with my blend and just add some of the Fresh Freesia. Just like that. How pretty, how pretty, how pretty. So that's our card. And then I'm doing the same thing on my envelope. So we're grabbing this one more time, and I'm going to use that same sentiment so I don't have a naked envelope. Sending love and best wishes. Who wouldn't love to see a card in the mail like that and know that someone was thinking about them? Just like that. And then I'm going to grab the little butterflies and place them. I'm not sure where I placed them on my last card. Where do I want to place them? Maybe up here, like that. So one tip, I do want to color these. So Memento ink is permanent. So once that dries, even if this envelope got wet, it's not going to bleed. And the blends are also permanent. So the same thing, you can use them on your envelopes. But because they do seep through, I always take a piece of scrap paper and put it down inside of my envelope before I do my coloring, just so it's not seeping through on the back of the envelope as little blotches. And then I'm going to come in here and color him. So it's a nice way to get some color on your envelopes. Occasionally I stamp colored, or I use markers, our Stamp and Write markers, but there is always the potential of them bleeding if they get wet in the mail, and you never know what might happen in the mail. So that just adds that little bit of color to your envelope, which I think is lovely. So let's pull that out. And now our envelope is no longer naked. So this is the card I'm giving away right here. Let me get this one out of the way. But hang on, because I want to show you a couple more cards I made with this paper and using my blends that were just a lot of fun to do. So this first one uses the same sentiment, because I just love that sentiment, like I said. Decorated my envelope with just the sentiment on this one. And then I made this card. So this uses one of our black and white layers, but I just kind of rainbow colored it. So I did a yellow, an orange, a red, a purple, and a blue. And then I punched out these hearts from the Designer Series paper, a different one, using the heart out of the Be My Valentine punch, the larger heart, and just colored them to match those same 5 colors, placed them in a circle like a flower, and then I punched out this tiny little heart with the Be Mine punch right here, the smaller heart, and placed that in the middle with a mini dimensional. And then this is a thinking of you card that I can also send out. But same concept, using the blends and the black and white paper, but getting some really fun, nice color on there. And then the final one I made is using the watercolor melon set, which is one of the free $50 level sets from the Celebration catalog. It has no sentiments, so I chose another sentiment from that same stamp set for my card that says Big Hugs. And then I also used the Modern Oval Punch. So this is the card I made, my little watermelon and Big Hugs. And then here's the card. So on this card, I took my blends and I colored on this black layer. Excuse me, right here. It does not have a lot of white. It just has little patches of it. And because the red is darker, it actually tints the black. So I only had to go around the edge on here, which was fine, but I made sure I completely covered that black part so that it would all look like that red tint on there. The other thing I did on here is I used some of our twine. Excuse me, what did I do with my twine? I probably misplaced my twine. But we have a 3-color pack of twine in the catalog. That is so weird. You know how you lose things on your desk? Somehow or other, I lost that right here on my desk this morning because I was looking at it. But I totally lost it. But I think it has a pink and a blue and a yellow twine in there. And I love them because they're that thin twine. But what I did was I took my Real Red blend and I ran it over the pink twine to make it darker and more the color of my watermelon. So I love that. I also used my blend to color matched better. And then I wanted to show you on this stamp set here, our Modern Oval Punch from the regular annual catalog punches out the watermelon perfectly. So you don't have to cut it out. It also punches out this end here. So if you just have a scrap with your watermelon, you can feed it in right along the punch and punch out just that end and get this part right here. So I really loved that they made that coordinated. I thought that was a lot of fun. And I thought this was just a fun card. One other thing I did on here, just as a reminder that you can do it, is because there's all these layers, I actually punched out some circles out of this red layer to use in the future on other cards, as well as used my paper trimmer to cut out this white layer here from this white layer so that I didn't have to have an extra layer. It reduces your bulk on your card, which is awesome, but because there's so many layers and I just had this showing on the edge, that's all I needed to do. So those are my 3 fun cards I made using the black and white paper and our blends and some fun tricks. I hope you liked them. Again, this is the card that I will be giving away So leave all of your comments today and tomorrow, and the following morning I will draw for a winner of this card. Thank you for taking some time with me. I'm going to watch this video to make sure everything went through okay. I know I was spinning there for a while, but now it seems fine again. So don't forget to leave your comments. If I have to redo part of the video, I will, and I'll do a part 2 and make a notice about that. As always, I would love to be your creative coach and demonstrator. If you have any questions at all, or would like a catalog, or anything else I can do for you, please reach out to me in the comments of this video or by email at crazystampinglady@gmail.com. I do plan to be back here on Tuesday, same place, same time, so I hope you can join me then. And until then, enjoy your crafty time indoors while this weather is cold. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.